I am Johnson.
I am Johnson.
We are the Johnsons. This is a show. We ain't no Johnny Carson or even Alan Parson. We are the Johnsons, and this is a show. They are the Johnsons. They are the Johnsons. They are the Johnsons, and this is a show. They are the Johnsons. So damn Johnson. They are the Johnsons. This is a show. I am a Johnson.
And I am Johnson.
And we are the Johnsons. And this is a show. We ain't no John Carson or even Alan Parson. We are the Johnsons.
So let's start the show. You have an addiction, Johnson, to gambling.
Johnson, why don't you just sell me out then?
The last time you were gambling,
we
we ended up in the Middle East.
Now, most people don't know, but bowlers are typically small zones.
Speaking of great bowler, that Osama bin Laden.
Osama bin Laden. Don't. Osama bin Laden.
Osama bin Laden.
Osama bin
Is
Laden.
a wonderful bowler.
He can bowl like there's no tomorrow.
A lot of you people are saying
you
guys
think that
are
he's
friends.
in
Johnson, you
Afghanistan.
are friends with Osama bin Laden. He is a terrorist. We knew him long ago.
He actually lives in Los Angeles on the beach.
He is an
He has
actor.
a lane built in the basement of his home.
He is not a terrorist.
He wears a Dodger
His name
cap.
is actually Andy.
It's Andy. Well, they
Andy
use that.
Ledon.
Most of that is filmed in a studio.
It
You know,
is.
that,
He
man
actually
walking
does.
through the woods.
He
It's
does
a hoax.
sends those tapes in every other day. Makes it himself.
Johnson is
He's
into
got a
conspiracy
backdrop.
theory. He's always spouting off about some.
Well,
President Bush isn't real. And,
Andy Ledon told me
well, man, you
the
know,
last time we were out at his ranch,
Osama bin Laden.
Ledon.
They don't. Andy.
I don't know.
Andy.
Let's just call him Andy. And he had popped out some
And
ecstasy. And it was some of the best ecstasy Johnson had ever had.
Yes. Bin Laden.
Bin Laden,
he
gets,
well,
I don't know where he gets it.
well,
He gets
I-
it from this chick down
They
in
say
Sunset,
that.
I
Well,
guess.
now you say that he
Anyway,
raises his funds by having family money. Well, I do not believe that.
You don't?
Nor accept it. I think that he's a
You
dealer.
think he's a
a
dealer?
drug.
Well,
drugs.
Johnson has this theory for a long
He
time.
deals drugs. Anyway,
But it doesn't keep you from taking them.
I'm
does
not
it,
the
Johnson?
dealer. I have to sample the merchandise.
That's right.
Yeah, man. Well,
So
that
we are
ecstasy.
all flipped
We
out
are
on the
flipping
ecstasy.
out. It is 10:30 in the morning by now,
10:30 in the
and
morning.
Andy is
Andy,
stark naked
he
in a
starts
tree.
talking, and then he starts spilling his guts.
He is Andy
He's
is stark
an
naked
actor.
in a tree. The next
His-
thing you know, Johnson is up there with him. And,
there was an apple up there.
There was
I
an
think
apple.
it
They
looked
were
good.
reenacting a biblical scene.
was just
And
like
I don't
that.
know who was Adam and who was Eve, but this
Well,
was.
it didn't really matter.
It didn't matter.
There were
So
two
there were no
serpents,
fig
I'll tell
leaves
you
involved
what.
in this. There was no embarrassment, let me tell you.
Yeah, with that
And
being
I was-
Laden, he
and I'm
shaves.
standing in the
You
corner.
would not know that.
Bin
Andy.
Laden, Andy, we will call him
And he has a tattoo.
He has a tattoo of
And I'm not going
a
to tell you where
tiger.
it is. You'll have to find where it is.
He is.
It's down by the serpent.
Bin Laden is a swan song.
So he's spilling his guts.
He says,
You know,
I
I'm an actor.
am this swan song.
I'm-
And Johnson looks at him and
And
says,
I almost fell out of that tree. I never heard the term
Did
before.
you- swan
I
song.
thought,
What is a
Johnson,
swan
what is a swan song?
What is a
Laid
swan
on.
song? Well, we had
Andy?
already known what Tenenbaums were,
Well,
but
Andy
swan songs. Andy,
was living down on Hollywood and
he
Vine
was,
at the time.
he liked to dress up like a woman.
And
Andy,
he kind of coined the term.
Andy, with its IE,
He was-
Andy, ANDIE, because you've got ANDY would be, you would think,
Yes.
Tenenbaum.
Why? Well, because
well,
So,
IE.
Lay down,
Now,
Andy
what is-
was
well,
in
it
the
goes
60s.
both ways.
Johnson, back to the story.
Stop.
Andy was cohorting with the Scorpions.
He had
back
a
in
relationship with Klaus. The
72.
Klaus is
I
the
think it was.
lead singer of the
And
Scorpions.
Klaus was
Well,
actually had a girlfriend at the
Klaus
time.
had a girlfriend.
When he-
Now he did not.
He
well,
did not tell Andy.
He could not. By the time Klaus was done with his daily cocktail of drugs and alcohol,
He
he,
didn't
did
really
not
care
know what
which way he was going.
It didn't matter. Swan Song was born.
The term Andy
He-
caught them
Andy.
and just yelled it out. When he saw them together, he just went,
Swan Song. Swan Song.
and history was made.
History was me. We have now Swan Songs. Now, who do we have at the?
There
who
is,
do we
look at
have
that! Look at that boat. That is a
There's-
beautiful
that is
boat.
a
Do you see
beautiful
that boat?
I do see that boat. I do see that
We
boat.
were sailing yesterday.
You knew that
with,
Don Johnson was the captain and he had a
Captain Ronson,
Johnson,
as we were calling him, Ronson Don Johnson. We went on and on like
he
that
had
for
it,
hours.
and there was some wind, so he of course has the T-shirt with the $2,000 sport jacket over it,
And he was
and
looking
leather
sharp
loafers
as usual.
Right,
It never gets
the
old.
hair, no, and his hair,
It's old. It's kind of
he
frosted.
was driving down speeding along the coastline, and his hair does not blow
Don
out of place.
Johnson has a rape fetish.
Johnson, well, he'll take you out about 2-3 miles off sea and offshore. That is offshore. I got so distracted by the sea that I.
Johnson has had a lot of coffee this morning. He is pretty hopped up. Boat.
And
Don Johnson
says, why don't you take this, Johnson?
And
And Johnson, of course, does not have any kind of self-control. And
Johnson pops it in his mouth.
Pops it in his mouth. And
as usual.
He
starts pounding it down with a Corona.
And he pounds it down. And this is, mind you, about noon. And that is it. And the next thing I know,
12:15.
Johnson calls me and says, I'm
Next thing you know,
on
I
the shoreline.
swam back.
I'm tied to a
Swam all the way
tree,
back.
and I have a sausage in my arm.
That was a prank call,
Johnson.
I was just joking.
I didn't win. The last thing I knew,
Binoculars.
I was on Don Johnson's boat, and I
had swam back by this point.
whale watching, as he put it.
Up pops this whale, that's for sure.
Blowing its spout.
It's about.
Looked like a whale. I don't know if it was where
I think it was a sperm whale.
I think it may have been a sperm whale.
There's a woman running by right now.
It certainly was salty.
There goes a Jensen.
A Jensen? Who is it? Is it?
Is
she from down the? That is.
Who is that?
Who is that?
It is
that
Kate Hudson.
Kate Hudson.
There she goes.
Kate Hudson. Kate Hudson is jogging by.
Just jog by. This is just what you get out
She's
here in
going for
Gualala.
a run. And
This is a beautiful
this is,
community here for.
she
You
is
would not
jogging,
believe how many
and,
celebrities come up here in
celebrities.
this area.
Well,
to
and they will
Gualala.
jog by. And
Just
they
jog
will,
by. Richard, well, I can't remember
Jog.
the first time we came up here. Richard Nixon.
Richard Nixon was
just
here.
right
He
down
was
the street.
old. He was shaky.
Yeah, I
But
think
he
he was
loved
pretty
to jog.
he was convalescing.
He was jogging down the road, and then he would
jogging
come
by.
down, and he would have
he
to
would,
stop and do his stretches in front of the house.
Of course.
And you kind of wondered, well,
Talk about it.
and he had kind of a Roman-looking thong on.
It was disgusting.
Stuffed. I don't know what we.
I did not vote for
Well,
him.
Johnson,
That.
Johnson was a fan of President Lyndon Johnson.
Lyndon B.
Lyndon
you know
B.
what that B
Johnson.
stands for.
B.
We can't say it
Johnson.
on it. We can't say what
Well,
it means on the air.
Lyndon Johnson
actually
could
gave him
not
that
handle
B.
that Mr. Kennedy did
gave
not
him the
want to
name
sleep
of
with
the
him.
B.
So
Mr. Kennedy
Johnson
was
Mr. Kennedy,
a fool.
he had him assassinated because Mr. Johnson was a cowboy. Now,
was a
I think
cowboy
Lyndon
in
Johnson would appreciate
every
Brokeback
word.
Mountain.
He would.
He
would
would think
have
he
starred
would
in
know
it.
who that
could have
was
starred.
related to, and
So we
Johnson
are whale watching.
started saying whale
Don
watching.
Johnson.
Huh?
Whale watching.
Whale
Anyway,
watching.
we already talked about
Sperm
that.
whales. But Don Johnson finally got Johnson back to the house.
Back to the
When
house.
I was
We said, Johnson.
when I say I, I mean he, and he means I. Johnson.
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 So we went treasure
Silence
hunting.
that phone.
There was a
Johnson.
you get a hot mic, Johnson.